Most people cycle through the same exercises every single week. Bench press, squats, deadlifts, maybe some curls, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it can make your workouts feel stale and leave serious gains on the table. So today, I'm going to share 5 exercises that almost nobody does. These aren't gimmicky tricks either. They're time-tested movements with real science behind them that I personally do every single week, and I think you should too. We'll start with one that's fairly well known, and as we go, they'll get more and more unusual. I'd say maybe 30% of you have done exercise 1 at some point, but I'd bet fewer than 2% of you have ever seriously tried exercise 5. I think they're all worth doing. Just remember that training consistently and training smart matters more than the exact exercises you pick. Okay, the first exercise builds core stability, protects your hips, and strengthens your inner thighs in a way that almost nothing else can. It's the Copenhagen plank. If you've never heard of it, you're not alone. It barely shows up in mainstream programs, but the research on it is genuinely impressive. Most core exercises train you to resist forward and backward forces, but real life demands side-to-side stability constantly. Every step you take, your body holds itself up on one leg. Every time you change direction or reach across your body, your hips and inner thighs have to stabilize you. The Copenhagen plank trains exactly that, and for most people, those muscles are almost completely untrained. Studies show it's one of the most effective tools for reducing groin injuries, but even if you're not an athlete, weak hip adductors are a surprisingly common cause of knee pain, lower back tightness, and hip problems. Strengthening them directly tends to fix issues people didn't know had a root cause. Set up like a side plank, but rest your top foot on a bench instead of keeping both feet on the ground. Your bottom leg hangs free underneath. Brace your core, squeeze your inner thighs, and lift your hips until your body forms a straight line. Hold that position. If it's too hard, bend your top knee and rest it on the bench instead of your foot. That shortens the lever and makes it manageable. Start with 3 sets of 20 to 30-second holds per side. It'll be harder than it looks the first time. Within a few weeks, your hip stability will noticeably improve, and you'll feel it carry over into your squats, lunges, and deadlifts. Next up is one that looks a little unconventional, but the science behind it is solid. It lengthens your hamstrings, builds strength through your posterior chain, and is one of the best things you can do for a healthy lower back long term. It's the Jefferson curl. And yes, I know, rounding your back sounds dangerous, but there's a real difference between uncontrolled rounding under heavy load and a slow, deliberate Jefferson curl with a light weight. Your spine is a joint. Like any joint, it needs to move through its full range of motion to stay healthy. When you never train spinal flexion, the tissue around it becomes stiff and weak. That stiffness eventually causes pain, not from moving too much, but from moving too little. The Jefferson curl trains that flexion under control, building strength and mobility that keeps your back healthy for decades. Stand on a low step, holding a light barbell or dumbbells, and start lighter than you think you need. Lead with your chin tucking to your chest, then slowly round down one vertebra at a time, like unrolling your spine toward the floor. Let the weight hang and go as deep as your hamstrings allow. Pause at the bottom, then slowly stack each vertebra back up until you're standing tall. Move deliberately, do not rush this. 3 sets of 5 reps with a conservative weight twice a week. Over time, your hamstrings will lengthen, your lower back will loosen up, and the range of motion your spine was designed for will gradually start coming back. Most people notice a real difference within a few weeks. Now we're getting into territory most people genuinely haven't heard of. This next exercise strengthens your quads in their lengthened position, which almost no conventional exercise does. And it's one of the most protective things you can do for your long-term knee health. It's the reverse Nordic curl. You've probably heard of Nordic curls, which load your hamstrings by lowering yourself forward from a kneeling position. Reverse Nordics are the opposite. You kneel upright and lean backward, putting your quads under a deep stretch while they work to hold you. Research consistently shows that training muscles in their lengthened range produces greater strength and more growth. For your quads, almost nothing loads them this way. Kneel on a soft surface, knees hip-width apart, feet tucked under you. Keep a straight line from your knees through your hips and head. Now lean backward as a single rigid unit. Do not fold at the hips. Lower as far as you can control, then fire your quads to bring yourself back up. Place your hands behind you to catch yourself if needed, and push off on the way up. Most people can only go a few inches at first. That's completely fine. Don't force the range. Start with 2 sets of 5 reps and build from there. Your quad strength will surprise you within a few weeks. Your knees will feel more stable, and if you've been carrying knee pain around, this is one of the best places to start addressing it. Okay, here's one that will catch you off guard. Simple as it looks, the training effect is significant. It builds a functionally strong core, develops grip endurance, improves posture, and forces your body to stabilize under an uneven load. It's the suitcase carry. One heavy dumbbell in one hand and you walk. What makes it work is the asymmetry. Because the load is only on one side, your core has to resist lateral flexion with every step. Your obliques are working constantly to stop you from tipping. Your shoulder holds a stable, packed position, your grip is under continuous tension, and your hips and legs have to stay coordinated through all of it. It's a full-body exercise disguised as walking. Hold the weight at your side with a straight arm. Stand tall, pull your shoulder back and down, brace your core, and walk with control. Resist any lean toward the weight. Keep your shoulders level and your gait natural. Walk for 30 to 40 meters, then switch hands and walk back. 3 sets per side, twice a week. Your core will be doing more useful work than in most dedicated ab sessions, and your grip will get noticeably stronger too. Alright, last exercise, and this is the strangest looking one on the list. Fewer than 2% of you have tried this seriously, and almost nobody programs it consistently, but it may be the most complete single movement in existence. It builds shoulder stability, core strength, hip mobility, and total body coordination all at once. It's the Turkish getup. You lie on the floor with a weight held overhead in one arm, and then you stand up all the way to your feet while keeping that weight locked overhead the entire time. Then you reverse every step and return to the floor. That's 1 rep. It sounds complicated, and the first time you try it, it will be. To complete it, your body has to demonstrate shoulder stability through every possible position. Your core braces and protects your spine through multiple transitions. It requires hip mobility that exposes any restrictions you have, and it demands full-body coordination that most gym exercises never ask for. As we get older, that combination of balance, controlled strength, and body awareness becomes genuinely important for staying active and independent. Start with 0 weight, just your fist in the air, until every step feels comfortable and you can move through it without hesitation. Then introduce a very light weight and go slowly. 3 sets of 3 reps per side is more than enough to start. This exercise rewards patience. Rushing it means missing the point entirely. Stick with these consistently, and within a few months, your shoulder health will improve, your balance will sharpen, and your body will feel noticeably more connected and coordinated in everything you do. That's not a small thing as you get older. Now, why these 5? Because they fill the gaps that almost every standard program ignores. The Copenhagen plank builds hip adductor strength most people have never trained. The Jefferson curl restores spinal mobility most adults have been quietly losing. The reverse Nordic curl strengthens your quads where they're most vulnerable. The suitcase carry builds functional core stability. The Turkish getup ties it all together with full body coordination and shoulder health. None of these overlap with your regular squats, presses, or deadlifts. They complement everything you're already doing. The biggest mistake people make is dismissing these because they look unusual or unfamiliar. How an exercise looks has nothing to do with how well it works. These 5 movements won't replace your program, they'll finish it. Pick one, add it to your next session, and give it 4 weeks. That's all it takes to feel the difference in your stability, your strength, and how your body actually moves. If this was useful, subscribe. There's a lot more where this came from.